Yeah, everybody had a he go getter now. Let's talk about this though, because you talked about you said you could if you could sell dope, you could sell hope.
Man,
Big time line, by the way. I don't think people understand, and I know there's a documentary out there about your growing up and all that stuff, but touch on that a little bit, because growing up and doing what you went through, and then being where you're at now, there's a street named after you, there's a road, whatever it is, there's a bunch of stuff named after you. Like, that's an unbelievable, he would say 360, I'm going to say 180.
man, listen. Listen. I want CB to straight up talk about, because when you grow up where in the South, or, you know what I'm saying, place like this, when you think of Wisconsin, you don't think of inner city.
South Dakota.
You don't think of, so I want CB to elaborate on growing up, obviously, in Wisconsin and Racine, where he's from, and that community, because that's not the community that, when you're not from there, you don't hear about that. They don't talk about that. That's the part that they don't talk about. Yeah, you hear a few stories about somebody getting in trouble here and there, but I never heard of Racine and where he was from until I met him. They never talk about that part. You know what I'm saying? That part never gets any credit or never gets spoken on. So just talk about where you're from, and, you know, obviously everything that you're doing now, and got a name, a street named after you, and everything you've been able to do in your community. But like, just your flowers though, from where you from.
No doubt.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, so we migrated from Columbus, Mississippi back in the early 60s. My grandmother, my uncle, and they went up there initially for a corporate job at J.I. Case to build tractors and things like that. So once they went up there and got the job, my mom and the rest of the family still was back in Columbus, Mississippi. They eventually came up, migrated up, and we settled in Racine just because of the opportunity of that. Now, people have to understand that the population of black and brown people is under 15% of the state, and the population of black people entirely is, you know, under 9%.
Damn.
And I think it's probably, you know, trending the other way, because more people are leaving than staying, just because of the jobs and things that have moved out of the state, like Seal Air and Johnson Wax. They've moved some of they deployed out to Illinois, and a lot of other companies have left as well. So Incarceration, they're still there, they're a hub, but they're doing a great job. But just that was the reason why my family migrated there, just for that employment, J.I. Case. Now, fast forward to when I came into the world, you know, from the second that I jumped off the porch, all I saw was just, you know, pretty much what you see in any inner city community.
Yeah.
You know, the drug sales, the prostitution, you know, you name it, we saw it. And I was intrigued by it because it was, you know, surface level, quick fix, you know, success stuff where I can get access to capital, get access to money.
What age is this real quick though?
I was like, you know, 11, 12, you know, because I didn't have older siblings, but I had an uncle, I had, you know, two uncles actually that was really heavy in that space, in the nightlife and just on the scene, hustling and doing things to accumulate, you know, money. And what I saw garbage bags of money coming in, an influx of capital. I was like, damn, like that's different. Like, how do I get tapped in that space? And I'll never forget, one of, you know, my uncle homies, you know, gave me some shakedown or some, you know, just some stuff that they bagged up, and it was just like the crumbs of what was left. And it was about a half ounce of, you know, drugs that just was the shake up. And I went to the street and I came back, and I just never forget the feeling. One, the feeling of going out there and selling it, knowing that I wasn't supposed to be out there doing it at the age of 11 and a half, 12. And at the time, I still was a paper boy for the Journal Times. So I'm out there at 2, 3 in the morning. My mom working third shift, so nobody was looking for me. But I was just, you know, going back to the alley, going back to the garage, going back to the alley, going back to the garage, catching serves. And I was like, damn, like made about $800 that night. And school came, and I was like, I'm not even doing that. But my mom came in, so I just slept in the basement that first night. I was like, man, I got $800. I'm about to go get me a little trap car and all this stuff. I'm thinking like that already.
Hold on, man. I want you to finish this. But I got to put things. At 12 years old, you were out there slanging, came home with $800?
11 and a half, 12, yeah.
That's
And
unbelievable.
I still had a paper out too, so I was working for the journal.
That was your
Journal
paper
Times.
route.
Yeah, it was doing that and delivering papers. And the papers that came, I didn't even deliver papers that day. I didn't do any of the things that I was supposed to do, but that's how I was like intrigued and exposed to like that life.
So you skipped school. Mm-hmm. So tell me about how we get back into school.
Yeah, I started going back like later that week. It was probably like I didn't go to school for like 2-3 days. And I don't know if anybody used to experience this, but you had the caller ID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, people don't
Wild.
understand the
Yeah.
plug-in caller ID. So I took the battery out of it, and my mom couldn't see that the 1-800 number from the school, Racine Unified, was calling saying that I wasn't in attendance. And that was just like how I really just took off in that space. I ended up telling my friends how much money I made, and believe me, I was like, look, this is what it is. This is all you got to do. And then I start going back to school, probably day 3, day 4, and they start skipping school because they was working for me. And so that's how my whole little process started.
So what's the most amount of money you made that year?
I don't know a year, but I was easily making $3,000-$4,000 a week
At 12.
at 12.
First of all, let me just explain this. You got to give credit where credit due.
That's right.
The man figured it out.
No
He got
doubt.
people working for him. He started going back to school. Now, I ain't encouraging this.
He's always been
I ain't
an
encouraging
entrepreneur.
this, but when anything gonna do anything, be a boss. Don't be a worker. You know what I'm saying? And second thing though, I real talk though, all aside, like when you're growing up in the inner cities and you're growing up in the hood, like your idea of success is only what you see. And it's what you see that is obtainable. And the only thing you see that is obtainable is the dope boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like you ain't really thinking about what they did to get the money. This is what success looks like. The cars, the girls. I mean, I remember being in high school and dope boys coming up, picking up high school girls, and you just sit, that's the girl you like.
Yeah.
She done jumped in there with the dope boy. You ain't got a chance.
How do I get that Cadillac? How do I
Yes,
get that
exactly.
chain so
yes,
she wants
yes.
me?
She ain't even looking over here because he done pulled up in the caddy, sitting on 20s. You know what I'm saying? So your definition of success is that. So when people say, oh, why didn't you do something positive? Or why didn't you you didn't know what was positive or negative. You just knew that was your definition of success and you wanted to be successful. Like you didn't think about what it took to get it.
Or
You
the
just wanted to be-
consequences.
or the consequences. You're not thinking about that. This is what success looks like. How can I get what he got? And that's what you focus on. Because that's what's around. You only know what you see.
Facts.
I know how it ended based on what I've seen and heard. But for the people at home, talked about how you stepped out of that and then how you got to UConn and all that stuff. So get the segue from 12 to basically Big East
Player of the year.
Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think that sequence, like, if you can just process it, that went on for years, but also like my loitering charges and things like that, being outside like a statue, being in, raids, dope houses, the rap van coming. I got picked up multiple times, just getting incarcerated for 2 weeks, going back, getting out, going to jail for a month, boys home, stuff like that for just extended period of time. And then it was just the one time that really, where it happened, where I got locked up for 2 years, where I wasn't supposed to be going to school. I ended up going to school that morning to, have an exchange, catch a serve at JIK, and the ATF alcohol, tobacco, firearm unit was there on the grounds. I did not know that. They had an informant meet me in the boys' restroom.
Damn.
You're 16.
I think I was 14.
14?
I was younger. So I was like, I was a freshman at Case, so 15, 14 and a half, 15. And I went there, I had a half ounce of cocaine on me. And I did the sale. I leave the restroom where we had the transaction. As I'm leaving, one of our hall monitors, or one of the OGs in the school, he had saw me and I was trying to go to the exit door, and he was like, "Hey, Butler, like, hey, what are you doing? You got to go to class." And it was like homeroom. I'm like, damn. Like, all right. I went back upstairs, and I'm dirty. I got all this stuff on me and everything. And I sat down in the homeroom class, and I'm like, all right, I just got to sit here for 15 minutes and then I can get out. Long story short, ATF come in there, they telling everybody to move to the side of the class, and I'm like, oh, they got me. Like I just already felt it. I knew what it was. We had the windows. We was on the second floor. We had the windows that kind of open.
Yeah, the tilt up.
Yeah, they don't open all the way. So I like looked at that. I peeped that. I was like, I can't jump. I'm like looking around. There's only one exit. I'm just like, damn, they got me. They just like, and I knew what time it was. They're like, everybody move to that side. Could you stay right there? Like, and I'm like, And I just stood up. I let them apprehend me. Took me downstairs. I saw the informant. It was a gun in a locker that they found as well. And long story short, it wasn't mine. The pistol wasn't mine, but I took the case because I already got caught dirty with this. So I might as well just took. Yeah. I just said this is just give it to me. Like it is what it is. And I took the hit, and I ended up doing 18 months off the 2 years. But when I got out, it was just like I really feel like I was rehabilitated because of sitting still and during that process, like reading the Caron, getting my visits from my mentors and people that really trusted me and poured into me, that told me that I can pivot and make a change and not be recycled in this system. I got out, I started playing basketball. Muslim brother by the name of Jamil Aguari hooked me up with this AAU traveling team. And I started traveling around the world with a bracelet on and everything. And I got ranked in the country. That led to me going to MCI, going to a prep school with Max Good, legendary coach.
Max Good's a man, by the way.
Legendary
Hold on.
coach.
I got to ask you a question, though, because I have to know this from me personally.
Yeah.
So prior to getting locked up, were you a hooper?
Yeah.
So you played.
Yeah,
So
I always had size.
Okay, yeah.
Outside, nothing organized though, or you was playing organized?
Never
Some
organized.
part.
So just part.
Yeah.
Slang a little something.
Yeah.
Hit a couple jumpers, leave.
I did not, I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't know I was nice until I got locked up. Where we started gambling for, the zebra cakes and the little Debbie.
Yeah,
It was
the
like
zebra cakes.
all the canteen. So it was a dude by the name of Sir Ping that was in Wales. He was like the superintendent over all the unit. I think it was Juno, the place where I was locked up at first, the cottage. And he was like, man, you got sides. I think you could play. And he had me playing one-on-one against like all the inmates, dudes that got life, dudes that got whatever, all the time in the world. And I'm playing against these dudes. They like, damn, like he nice. And that's when I was like, damn, I'm better than all these dudes, because my talent was never put on full display like that. I used to play pickup at the corner, shoot a couple, and then I'm like, damn, I got to serve.
Got to work, yeah.
But it was like, damn, like he can hoop. Like he really can hoop.
Wow.
I gotta try. I'm trying to envision this, so that's why I'm asking these questions. So you're 16 in here against dudes that are in there for life.
Yeah.
And hooping against these dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no fouls, ain't no nothing.
And listen,
Did you have someone like were you ever
gotta-
worried?
No.
I just got to say this one thing, and I understand that things might have worked out better for you in the long run, but you got to be a dirty to be a confidential informant on a 14-year-old. Whoever you are, I hope you feel good about yourself. I hope you feel good about yourself. He was 14.
You know what?
You got to be you just got to be a dirty. Like I hope you feel good. I know it worked out for the better, but I just had to say that. Who the are you?
I don't disagree with you, but thank God it did happen.
I know it did. Thank God it did. But goddamn.
The time and everything, it was perfect.
Yeah,
Thank God
two,
it happened.
Yeah.
I know you know this because from being in South Dakota, but crack stink. You cooking and cutting that shit stink. That shit stink. So I was just being honest, man. There's a lot of that shit that could have went the other way, man. But I'm appreciative for you being here because obviously you end up being my OG. But I just had to say that you're a dirty whoever you are.
You ain't lying.
So you go out on the AAU circuit, you start hooping. UConn, who else was recruiting you? I mean, everybody?
Not everybody, because I had.
Were they worried about your past?
They didn't know until after the Peace Jam. I got, I think it was the Peace Jam or the Indiana tournament. I think I averaged like 39 at the Peace Jam.
Damn!
It was something crazy, but I got the.
That's up there in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
And this is my first time playing like on the circuit or anything.
He had been playing in prison. Them grown ass men. He got out there on Peace Jam. Them
I ain't
boys.
never been
Them
out.
boys couldn't.
Yeah, they all
Tear their ass up.
But when they start doing that background check, They was like, is he eligible? Is he clearinghouse? Like they start asking these questions. They like, no, he fresh out. See, he got a bracelet on and all. So now it's like, oh man.
I get 39 a game.
But
looking at
the only coaches, God rest his soul, John Thompson, Mike Jarvis,
all the OGs for real.
all the OGs, Don Crenshaw from Nike. What's the brother name that grabbed? He grabbed the Martin Luther King speech after he did it.
Oh, that's Nike dude.
Coach.
Yeah.
He was coach at USC.
Yes, yeah. God, he worked for Nike for
forever.
Yeah.
Is it Henry Bibb?
No. It's,
Say coach for USC?
Yeah, he grabbed the Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes.
He drafted Dr.
No,
Martin
grabbed
Luther
it.
He
He
grabbed
had
the
it.
speech.
Oh, he grabbed it.
He had it.
Who was it?
Raveling.
Yeah, okay, George Raveling.
George Raveling. Okay, yeah.
George Raveling, like he was like got me in the system where I was a Nike kid immediately, and he was just like, all right, they took me under their umbrella, like, hey, we're gonna help you through this process. They gave us the resources that we need at the community center, and that kind of just ushered me down the path to like, be straight.
It's the dopest story.
Take a village, dog.
It's
Stories that you don't know, man. It take a village, boy. That's
Like-
dope.